What's up, everybody? It's Carrie. We are here. It's Unhackable. It's Unhackable Day. Hope you're doing fantastic. Listen, very excited. I mean, it's been a great weekend. How was your weekend? Let me know. Erica's managing comments. She'll be sharing this all over the place. But here's what we're doing. We're calling this the Unhackable Coach Show. And what I want you to do is I want you to be able to get a sneak peek at some of the 85 people who've already become certified on the Unhackable speaker, coach, and trainer. I want you to meet them. I want you to see what they're doing. I want you to see how they're leveraging this message in the world, because a lot of you are saying, you know what, is it right for me? Could I become an Unhackable certified coach, speaker, and trainer? Do I have an audience? There's Yavina, and I just learned her name because people say her name incorrectly all the time, but no longer do I. It looks like an L. I used to call her Lavina, but it's actually an I, and it's pronounced Yavina, correct? Go ahead, type in correct if I got it. So listen, folks, amazing things are happening with the Unhackable message. In fact, I'll tell you what. Hey, Jim, good to see you. Jim's one of our coaches as well. Fantastic. Here's what's interesting. There's a Netflix documentary going on right now. I have not seen it, but people keep tagging me on it, and they keep saying, oh my gosh, you have to watch this because it's all about Unhackable. You know, Unhackable started 6 years ago in my brain, and then Elixir Project came out 4 years ago. And then I kept working on the nonfiction for 4 more years, and here it is, and it's about to release in October. But people are saying that the Netflix documentary, let me get it exactly because I want to spell it right, so I will watch it, but it's called The Social Dilemma. I have not seen it yet. It looks like it's PG-13, looks like 97% of the people love it. It looks like they say that it released in January. And what it's basically doing is it's showing the addiction and privacy breaches on social media. Now, again, if you say, oh my gosh, is that happening? 4 years ago, it came out in Elixir Project where we talked about a ring called Cortex that would basically monitor everything. And not only monitor, but here's where we cross the line, influence thoughts. See, there's a big difference between monitoring thoughts, monitoring actions, and actually influencing them. And if you think this stuff is crazy, or if you think this stuff is made up, all I want to do is I want to say, listen, come on now. Of course it's happening. Of course we are literally having our brains hacked. Now, I'm not saying the book's against big tech. I'm not saying the book's against technology. We're on technology right now, but here's what I do know. Elixir Project goes at it from the point of, oh my gosh, there's a conspiracy, futuristic stuff, sci-fi, really fun stuff. I don't say that big tech is the enemy in this book. You know what I say is the enemy? Us, like you and me. In other words, I talk about we get hacked. We choose to get hacked. That's our choice, and I need to stop blaming it on everything else. I'm the one who controls my smartphone, and if you think this is like hype or whatever, let me just tell you, they've done the research. Even your phone upside down, face down, in your room, in your desk, in a meeting, even the very fact that your smartphone is there upside down, you know what it does? It creates stress. It literally does. It creates stress. People have had phantom vibrations where literally their phone is not even ringing, but they feel that it is. Because what we've done is we've actually changed the way that our human brains function and operate. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. You can do all the research and you can look at the word phubbing, P-H-U-B-B-I-N-G, and you can say, oh my gosh. Here's another term. Phubbing's pretty cool. It just basically means where you snub people for your own technology purposes. In other words, like you're talking to me and I'm supposed to be on the live stream and I'm looking and this type of thing. Now, is that cool? That's not cool. What it does is actually reshaped the way we do relationships. And truth be told, I struggle with this. I'm not the one who's conquered this. In fact, my team is more aware of it, and our company more than anybody else. And they'll tell me, in fact, they'll tell me when I wear my mirrored glasses sometimes, because I do need mirrored glasses because they're prescription. But sometimes we're in meetings and, I get the temptation because we're a virtual company. Oh my gosh, I could be more productive if I'm doing this, or I just got an email and I got to follow up with that. Folks, here's what we do. We create something called Digifrenia. If you think this is hype, research it. It's all in the book. This is why the book, in my opinion, is, well, I'll just tell you, this book is gonna be a game changer for most people. And I'll tell you why. There's no chapters. It's 30 days of missions. But here's what it does. It literally, every single thing that I talk about, research, documentation, research. Now, it's not a boring type of book, but here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to highlight it so that people would not think this was just made up. Digifrenia is actually a mental condition where you and I feel stress because we have to be multiple people online in multiple places. No generation has ever had to do this before. In other words, if you were out and back on the farm, you were out and back on the farm. But now you exist on Twitter, and you exist on Instagram, and you exist on Facebook, and you exist on email. In other words, today you are existing in multiple places and platforms at the same time. And here's the stress. You need to say all the same thing congruently. You need to be fully aware that everything coincides. In other words, schizophrenia is where you're multiple people. Digifrenia is where you're on multiple platforms. Now, come on, is this fantastic or what? Here's what I want. Laura says, Digifrenia, how do you spell that? I can't wait for your book. Laura is one of our certified coaches, speakers, and trainers. We're going to bring Chrissy on in a moment. Jim lost his spot, but we'll bring him on. I just want to introduce you to our coaches, speakers, and trainers. Chrissy, let's bring you on, my friend. We're going to learn about you. We're going to learn about your business. By the way, Erica, drop in the link, unhackablebook.com. Drop it in, because Faye says, hi, I'm Faye and I have Digifrenia. Listen, it's reshaping human behavior, human relationships, human thought. We are literally evolving as a species. And I'm not talking about creation, evolution. I'm just talking about we are adapting, because now kids are born with these in their hands, and it is shaping human behavior, some for the good, but not all for the good. So you need to get unhackablebook.com. And listen, I've never been so bold on any book I bought. I've never talked about, go buy Elixir Project, go buy Secret Name. I have not done that. I'm telling you, go buy 10 copies of this. You're going to give away gifts anyways in a few months, for birthdays, for graduations, for Christmas, for whatever you celebrate. You're going to give. Why not change someone's life? I mean, right here, human knowledge used to double every 1,000 years. Today, it doubles every 12 hours. No wonder why we can't keep up. And I'm not saying conspiracy or any of this. I'm just saying you have been created by God with dreams in your head and heart, and you keep getting hacked, and you will live a life of regret. My son told me this the other day. My son, he plays Fortnite. He told me this. Laura just said she bought 100 copies. There you go. And I know she did. In fact, there's all kinds of rewards. Go to unhackablebook.com/club, and you will see, for people who get 10 books, 100 books, 1,000 books, not only are we giving away all kinds of surgeries for children, rescuing sex slaves, building wells, feeding families, all through b1g1.com. Not only are we actually changing the world with every book sale, you are. In fact, you get a certificate every single time you buy a book. But the other point is that you're changing lives. Like, the book is going to change people's lives. So Chrissy, let's bring you on, my friend. And you're one of these people who bought 100 books, got certified as an unhackable speaker, coach, trainer. Some people are looking at you, or Brant, who bought 1,000, and probably saying, what are they, nuts? other people are saying, well, you know how many people who have bought domains.
I do. And the list is long, the number of people, but some people bought 7, 8, 9 domains. So it's well over 100.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So we'll get a count on that sometime, but people are literally going and saying, I'm buying unhackablebrain.com, unhackablemarriage.com, become unhackable.com. Like, why do you think there's almost like this, I don't know, like mania around Unhackable that I've never seen before? Do you think it's because we got so hacked in 2020 that people just know it? I mean, what do you think?
Definitely. I mean, we've always been hacked by something, and 2020 has just amplified that. And people, I think, are really starting to see the impact that it's having on them.
Wow. What did you do? Now, you're this fiction writer who wrote, I forget, is it Blue Sky Morning?
Yes.
Blue Sky Morning. And you wrote this book, and you talk about your own journey growing up with a cleft palate and some of the challenges. You have all your unique story. You help people come up with stories, and yet you said, I want to be an Unhackable coach, put that over my business. How are you going to use the Unhackable message in your unique setting?
So that's my story. And a lot of the things that I found that have hacked me, aside from my phone, are the stories from my past.
Interesting. Whoa. You say, I love this. Hold on. Day one, you just nailed it. You just nailed it, my friend. Day one, you just said that in the book, the very first day, I'm finding it, write your story. And you said that your stories have hacked you. Tell us how.
Because we often have stories that tell us what we can't do. And sometimes we end up creating stories that tell us what we can do. And that's always what I've done. And that's why that message fits so perfectly with Unhackable.
I love it. So tell people what you do, what your passion is. It's to help men or women. It's to help people with their stories. But now you got this unique angle about the hacking of the stories.
Yeah. So it's helping people turn obstacles into opportunities. So taking those stories, flipping them around, and then becoming unhackable in executing whatever their mission is in life.
I love it. I love it. Do you know that I'm doing a video for each coach too? I just did 9 before I hopped on, but I'm literally leveraging everything for the coaches. We've created assessments for them. We've created unhackable trailers for them. We've created training. Now, talk about even the reality. You thought you were going to go to Shawshank with me.
I did. I had everything planned, everything set up. My suitcase was half packed, waiting for the last pieces, and then I couldn't go.
You couldn't go because your state or my state or whoever state said you can't go because then you got to be quarantined for 14 days, and you had a loved one that you wanted to see or celebrate. Yes. That would make you not be able to be quarantined. And rather than you throwing in the towel, being angry, let's face it, whenever we get news that we don't want, we do get a little frustrated, right? I mean, I get frustrated, but you didn't get hacked.
Yes.
Even though you've been looking forward to coming to Shawshank all year, where we personally trained every speaker, coach, and trainer, but we did record it all. How did you choose not to get hacked and actually turn that into a place where you served people? Because I heard you lit it up on Facebook. You lit it up for our virtual people that couldn't make it physically. How did you do that mental switch? What did the book prepare you for with tools?
Well, I did have a few moments of being really angry, but then I said, what am I going to do? I can't be angry. I can't focus on this course if I'm angry about where I am or not. And I knew that I could still get that same material online. And I found once I jumped into the group that everybody there was giving, and everybody who was online, we had a separate little connection, and we were able to help each other out because trying to find a link and where are we supposed to be. You have that little bit of a disconnect when groups are in two different places. And so we were able to help each other out to make sure we were all where we needed to be.
I love it. I love it. Vicky's saying, because this is her background, students were hacked. Mackenzie says that she witnessed 2 large Twitch streamers get hacked. Once your eyes are open, and by the way, people are quoting you all over the place. Love it. And we just popped in your website. So thechristinemeyer.com/books. Which unhackable domains did you buy and why?
I picked Unhackable Story and unhackablestories.com. And that site, my web guy is still working on it, but it's 90% up.
I love it. How did you feel when you heard that we were going to, and this isn't a big pat on our back, this is just doing good for the world. But when you found out that we were actually going to give part of the book proceeds and coach proceeds and launch proceeds to kids, in fact, you're the one who picked the project, to kids who have cleft palates. Talk about that, because that was your past story. And now all of a sudden, because you're a coach, you're rewriting your story, but now you're actually helping kids. And we've actually done several surgeries already. How did that blow your mind?
That was awesome. When you posted that for us to pick a charity, the first thing I thought about was cleft palate, because there are a lot of stories that people have about that, and the opportunity to get surgical repair is life-changing for people.
Whoa. I love it. I'm so glad you picked that charity. That wasn't even on my radar. I'm just being real. Because listen, until you've gone through it, now self-injury, absolutely. Stuttering, absolutely. But this is where those deep wounds in our life actually become places of story, and they can become places of platforms. I tell people all the time, your pain will become your platform. The area of your deepest wound will become the area of your greatest impact. Your story will become God's glory. Listen, we are thrilled. I know you're part of Fire Ring. What are you, the bonuses we gave you, 3 funnels. You get a book funnel, an assessment funnel. What else? A webinar funnel. I got to show you this, Chrissy. You haven't even seen this, because this is brand spanking new. I'm going to show you my screen. This is pretty cool. So you let me know in a moment if you can see what I'm about to share, okay? Can you see that?
Yes.
So that looks good?
Yes.
Unhackability Assessment. This is one of the funnels that right now, first time ever we're showing this, that Brant is building for every one of the first 100 certified coaches, speakers, and trainers for Unhackable. And it's actually a legit, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the actual funnel. And you're going to get all this. How cool is that? Because I'll tell you what, people charge a lot of money for book funnels. I've heard $5,000 or more. We only charge $0. But how cool is that you're going to be getting 3 funnels as well?
That's great, because one of the hardest things to do is building a funnel, especially if you've never done it before.
Absolutely.
And what are all the important parts? What do people need to understand the benefit for them? Because it's not about me selling a program. It's about me selling an opportunity for people to learn. Love it.
Love it. Here's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask people right now who are watching this, if you're a certified Unhackable speaker, coach, trainer, type in the word certified. And if you're saying, I think I might want to be one, by the way, we have payment options. You can spread this out over months. In fact, after you get your first client, you've already paid for it. So it's one of those things where it's like, why are you giving away all this stuff? I'll tell you why. Because we believe that this message needs to get out there. Sandy's certified. You bet she is. In fact, she became Unhackable with Duck Donuts. We're going to talk about that coming up here. Daphne's certified. Faye's certified. Laura's certified. She picked a charity in Bangladesh that gives sewing machines and sewing lessons to women in Bangladesh so they can start sewing for their families and start a small business. Folks, I'm going to ask you to do something powerful. Please share this and tag people. Why? You've heard a bunch of the resources goes to people in Bangladesh and people with cleft palates and people that are sex slave and people in Nepal that need sexual abuse counseling. The book's going to do amazing things. Here's what I know. The more I can give this thing away, the more I can just say, go Chrissy, go Faye, go Daphne, go Laura, go Sandy, go Missy, all these people. You're going to take that book into places I could never, ever go. What do you think about some of those crazy terms like digifrenia and snubbed and all these things that the book kind of brings to the forefront of people's mind? What do you actually heard the content? What do you think about some of the training and what is it going to do for people?
Well, the terms all sound really kind of exotic, but when you break them down, they're all terminology that we've used in different ways. So it really does connect to people in that way. It's not totally foreign.
Yeah.
And so that makes it easier to understand and to apply.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, we have a few other people. We have Travis White who's coming on, and we have Jim who's coming on as well. We'll see once they pop on. I think Mike's sending them some links. And I just love this time because whether we get one or three or a bunch, we're going to keep supporting everyone. What do you think about the upcoming launch? In other words, on October 24th, we have a launch that is going global. We're going to be at the Igniting Souls. Were you on the training last night with the Igniting Souls?
I was.
Talk about that. See, I'm not against technology. That was the state-of-the-art, cutting-edge content technology, but it's actually helping people not get hacked. So in other words, it's saying we're going to create so much engagement that with our online conference, you won't even try to look at other things. Talk about what the experience was for you.
It was great. I enjoyed the table time so much. I got to meet people that I've seen in the tribe before, but actually get to see them, hear their voices. And that was just for, a quick 1 or 2 minutes of conversation. Yeah. So I can't even imagine how amazing the conference is going to be with that opportunity to do that in depth.
Oh, it is. I'm super excited. I'm going to put in a link for I'll tell you what, Mike's got it. Fantastic. So, Chrissy, this has been amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. I mean, you've had a year of transformation. Why don't, in the last few words, I know we've talked a lot about Unhackable, but for someone who's thinking about firing and saying, you know what, I don't want just, one training. I want to spend a whole year with firing and workshops and why is firing Unhackable, any of this personal growth stuff, why is it important? Who would you be if you didn't, if you wouldn't have said yes to all these things this year?
Gosh, I learned so much about who I am and clarity around my message. And yeah, I think that was the biggest thing I got. It progressed my growth exponentially.
Well, we keep seeing you grow, and that's why we're saying, here, can we hire you for all these different roles?
Yeah.
You just keep showing up, filled up, and as you keep growing and the company's growing, we're just like, hey, we want to keep promoting you as well. So you have your own business, you have your own speaking, coaching, writing business, but we try to take those people that are just crushing it and say, hey, can we also have some of that goodness wear off on us too? So thanks for all you're doing.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, you take care, my friend. Okay, folks, so that was just an example of how someone who has a passion for stories and helping people not get hacked by their stories can just come to life and use the Unhackable message. And we call that co-branding. That's what it means to be co-branding. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say, no, if you get certified, it's my content. You don't blend it. You gotta have all these bells and whistles and checklists. Here's what we say. This message is a gift. It's entrusted to me, and I'm entrusting it to you. For all the people who want to get certified as speakers, coaches, and trainers with Unhackable, they can literally make this message morph to their business, their brand. Brands taking it into unhackable neuropathy. Now, if there's anything more niche than that, I don't know. But he said, unhackable pain, that's what you need. He said people with neuropathy, because he's a doctor, and he says that they get hacked every day. In fact, I wrote it on my phone. I didn't write it on my phone, but you know what I'm saying. I took a picture, and he said at first, oh, I love this, what he said. He said at first it becomes a like a distraction, and secondly it becomes a I forget the 3Ds, but he laid them out, and it was powerful. And he said, oh, discomfort, distraction, and then disability. Thank you. Discomfort, distraction, and disability. That's what neuropathy does for people, and it hacks them. Our next guest is Jim Henry. Here he is. And Jim, great to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
You're here, man. We got you.
Disability. That's what neuropathy does.
But Jim probably doesn't know he can see us yet. I want to mute him till he's ready. You got me? Okay. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
You got me?
I have an echo.
I'll tell you why you got an echo. Just only watch with me here. Don't watch with your phone or wherever else what you were watching it. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
You got me?
I have an echo.
So he's coming. He's shutting it down. But anyway, once he's ready, give me a thumbs up, Jim, and then I'll unmute you. Laura says she used the Elixir Project to get Unhackable. I'd expected it to take a year to write the manuscript. Oh, okay. So she used the Unhackable course to get her book Unipreneur. That's pretty sweet. I love it. I love it. Jim Henry is the best. He's got a big fan club that he said. And Lily says that we have a lot of care going on. Fantastic. Chrissy's a rock star. We'll get Jim back on. But Jim's a guy who, again, amazing guy. And here's what he's going to share. He's going to share how people who receive a terminal illness diagnosis, obviously you get hacked when you get that. He actually has a ministry and business where he helps people who get the terminal illness diagnosis become unhackable. So that's amazing. We're going to bring him on here in a moment. And as we chat today, let me just share this, folks. I talked a little bit about the documentary. Let's talk about the assessment. Actually all of our coaches, here's what they receive. They receive 2 assessments that are fully their own. In other words, we don't collect any of their clients' email addresses. How cool is that? So they literally are going to have an opportunity where basically they can send their clients and say, tell me your unhackability score. And I'm going to actually show this to you. Okay. So check this out, folks. It's pretty slick. We're going to get to the unhackableBook.com. I love sharing some of these new cool things. There's a private link where only our coaches have this private link. And we're going to share my screen. Here it is. All right, I think you can see it. So this is a private link. It requires a password, and all of our Unhackable coaches literally get this, where they can send their clients and say, hey, client, go take that assessment. And the client's going to come over here. They're going to watch the little video. They're going to click start, and then they're going to be able to say, huh, how much in my life do I have flow in integrated? And you might say, why is that important? Because we know that the people that are the happiest in life are the people that experience progress to their goals. That's happy people. God's wired it in a way that we go into the world and have dominion over the earth. So we know that when we are accomplishing things, goals, tasks, working, progress, we feel happy. But when we have obstacles, when we are not making progress, when we're not in flow, then we experience unhappiness. So this 9-question test basically says, hey, I only focus on one task at a time. Always would be great. Some of you are never. Define deadline. I have clearly defined deadlines in my life. That's actually a good thing. Some people say, almost never. My life requires me to show up. Nope. A lot of people say, no, it doesn't. I just punch the clock. That's not good, by the way. With my commitments, I have a real personal cost for failing. Some people say, nope, my life has no risk. Rich rewards. I experience flow states that are integrated with boon achievement. Even if you don't know what some of the words are, do you experience flow when you achieve? Some people say, almost never. I have a big why combined with a big win. Most of the populations know. My brain experiences large amounts of neuroplasticity. Again, if you don't know what that is, unpredictability. A lot of people are no. I don't have truth tellers. Oh, bummer. My life is a perfect blend of high challenge and high skills. Again, most people never. You click that, you go look at your test, and all of a sudden it says, oh, bummer. My life doesn't contain enough triggers, flow triggers, to reproduce it on a regular basis. Then you can watch this video, and it basically pushes you back to the person who referred you. You see that? How cool is that? That's just one of the assessments, not to mention the unhackability one, which is 30 questions, which is major in depth. And you take this quiz, and all of a sudden at the end, you have this massive report. And again, it pushes people back to you, the coach. How cool is that? Well, folks, I'll tell you what, we had a blast today. We're going to call it a show. We'll get some other people on, Travis and Jim, on a future show. It's no problem. But just want to say to everybody, Unhackable is coming out in about a month. So you have an opportunity to still pre-order it. We're sending books out sooner than the real release, so you'll be able to set yourself up well. By the way, we give the audiobook out earlier for those people who do the 100,000 or 10 copies. All kinds of bonuses. Go ahead, put that link in again, unhackablebook.com/club. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you later.